There's lots of kissings in this movie. There are several kissings in this movie.
Some of them are a little uncomfortable to watch.
I am
a little too much.
Yeah.
Kisses.
Well, listen, I'm sorry if this is like a weird thing to say for your audience, but I got to be Hunter when I come on the podcast.
Yeah.
I am pro horny movie. I am very pro horny movie.
Wow.
I think more movies need to get their freak on. Like, you know what I mean?
Hunter, you need to come back, and we're gonna do a full-time movie, Little Tidbits, where you and like Adventure Club.
Yeah.
For Dimension 20.
Yes.
You and I are gonna debate about horny versus no horny movie.
Okay, that's great. I love this idea.
I wanna jump in and say like that this movie brings sexy back in a good way.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
It's not overt or gratuitous. It's literally the right amount of like sexy, like Haley Steinfeld. I mean, got you.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, Sybil said vampires are inherently sexy.
And that's Sybil. I need you to calm down with the hot takes. Listen, this is a safe space, but like we're on the internet.
I will stand by this.
I think you really need to pump the brakes on your hot takes. Vampires sexy? I don't think that's ever been explored in any kind of media.
My wife has taken me from the sex scenes in movies are not necessary. You can't convince me otherwise. To shut up and kiss.
Yeah, kiss.
When I'm watching things.
Like, let them kiss. You know. But
I think I had that moment in Brave New World with New Cap and his new Falcon.
with new. Oh, I thought you were.
No. Captain America.
Yeah.
Captain America: Brave New World with Anthony Mackie's Captain America.
I don't know
and
why.
his new Falcon in the end when he was in the hospital bed. I watched that with
why.
Clint, and he was like, "Just kiss already."
I don't know why my brain immediately went to Cap and the leader. Like
Yes.
That's where my brain
Yes.
went. That's where I thought you were going. I don't know why. The leader, his like forehead bubbles, like. Anyway, so there is this like sexy bent of like Haley Steinfeld coming back in and having this like totally new attitude. She singles out Stack and brings him into like the grain closet or something, and then they do their thing. It is the sex closet. Sammy and Pearline had
Formerly the grain closet.
it's formerly the grain closet. Sammy and Pearline had a moment before that too, and like there is long story short, Mary bites Stack.
Among other things.
Everybody and everybody thinks Stack is dead. They shoot Mary. She immediately gets up, says, "We're going to kill all of you," and runs out.
It is simultaneously the best and worst 5 minutes for Haley Steinfeld fans.
Yes. Yeah. I think if you care about that kind of thing, good for her. Look, it's on the brand of hot takes. Haley Steinfeld, incredibly. I just think she's neat. I think she's so neat.
Yeah.
I love her. If you guys ever do, or if you guys ever give me a Hunter's Choice again, I'm at some point I'm coming back to talk about True Grit, one of my favorite movies of all time, and she gives one of the best performances of the decade in True Grit. She is phenomenal. Anyway, one of my favorite actors. She's good in Pitch Perfect 2. She's great in Pitch Perfect 2, actually.
I met her for the premiere of Edge of 17.
Oh my God, Edge of 17 is.
I saw a pre viewing at college.
At college, when you were at college.
My brief stint in college, and I worked in the theater that they did that, so I got to meet her.
That movie is.
She is
great.
Tall.
Yeah, she's tall. I've heard this.
Huh? And then she was wearing some fucking heels or something.
She's tall and neat.
She's very neat. She was very nice too.
I've only heard
it was
good
like
things about
I had
her.
like a brief, like half-second interaction with her.
Great
she was
smile.
Very nice.
Anyway, we don't have to go on. I think
You would not have recovered.
I think it's fair to say everybody in this movie very pretty. Like just like everybody's so beautiful. So now we are kind of like I would say pretty much end of Act 2 here. Like this is when all the shit really starts.
Stack dying is the what is the mnemonic device?
Oh, I don't know.
Dark Night of the Soul.
Dark Night of the Soul. He dies. Mary
Not
runs
that
out.
Dark Night.
Though Ryan Coogler talks about wanting to make a movie that like excites people and moves them. Dark Knight. He cites Dark Knight
That
as
is
like
true,
a
yeah.
huge inspiration on this movie. What were the other ones? I have like pages and pages. I came prepared today, guys. But anyway, The Fugitive, one of my favorite movies. Like he names The Fugitive these like popcorn movies that are also just like really propulsive and cool. And I think he does so well at that. And this is like really the point where like everything changes. People start filtering out of the club. They're all told like, "Hey, go home." They all leave.
Awful idea.
Nobody else knows the rules yet, and they essentially all get eaten. Like that's
Yeah.
it. There's
Cornbread leaves first.
Cornbread leaves first to pee
To get the car.
to get the car so he can like and so just one by one, not one by one. There's like this huge group.
All at once and then one by one.
Everybody leaves, and then we get this the other really truly transcendent music scene in the movie where we hear Remick singing
Some good
outside,
Irish drinking
and it
songs.
moves outside, and we see like this huge party happening outside. The party has moved from inside the club to outside, and he's singing Rocky Road to Dublin, a song. If you were
Banger.
around, a
Banger song.
a all-time banger. And if you were around for the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes days, like this
Oh.
song. This is in the first Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes. Robert Downey Jr. beats ass to this movie in the little fight club.
I like this.
It rocks. This song rules, and it's so cool that they use it. And this is really where we like learn that he's Irish, and they start to make the connections. And
I think it's important to note that there's been like talks about where the Smokestack twins got their money from. They were working with the Italian mafia, who were fighting the Irish,
and
and they stole from both of them.
stole from both sides. I think something we forgot to set up is that they have this crate. They came to town with this like truck with all of these crates and supplies in, and they've mentioned the crate a couple times at this point. Like, damn, we forgot to get the crate, and we don't know what's in the crate yet. That's for later. So like Remick is an Irish vampire, which I learned there are the Irish vampires. Bram Stoker might have based Dracula on an Irish piece
Hell
of
yeah, Ryan
folklore.
Coogler. Hell yeah. That's what I was wondering. You remember I asked immediately after.
That there's like
Yeah.
that
You
there's like,
did, but that was my first question. Is like, why Irish for
in
vampire?
Irish folklore there is a blood-sucking dwarf who, when he is killed with a yew wand, a stake, that's the only way to kill him. When they try to kill him otherwise, he rises the next day and then continues to eat people.
If I get killed, I want to die by steak. You know what I mean?
That's
Medium rare, please.
I
That
think
was better than your last
that's
few.
better, and in America, very possible.
That's how Sybil's gonna die.
Can we with that A5? You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, very cool that he's like drawing all of these sort of, and there are people who have analyzed this and have said like he's actually more akin to like these Irish fae who eat people. Like they're really working in all of this mythology, this sort of like vague space of mythology where everything can kind of be true, and mythology is pulling from whatever the truth is,
Yeah.
which is the perfect way to adapt to mythology. I think Sybil can agree. everybody now, like we get these interactions where all of the vampires come forth and start to tempt the other people, whoever is left in the club, who is there are not many, to try and come outside, and they start to sort of bargain with them. And we get this scene that is like so powerful and reminds me so much of Killmonger and Black Panther, where they sort of are starting to make their point, where Stack is now a vampire, and he's telling his brother Smoke, we have never been free. We have always been under the employ of something much larger than us that did not care about us. And right now I'm free. I can live forever. I don't have to listen to what anybody tells me to do. And
that's such a powerful sentiment for everybody in that time. Everybody represented: the Irish,
of course,
the Asians, even the Choctaw in the beginning, and of course obviously the African American Black community at that time. Freedom is it's still such a shaky notion even during that time.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, they've really established that every character is looking for that freedom in their own way, and everybody has reasons to do this. But like, we're now talking about like, okay, so we have like this Irish guy who was invaded by the Normans. Like, he's like probably 1300 years old, the way he's describing what happened to him. He lost his wife. His culture was totally taken over by the Christians. Like that the Christians were the one that dominated him. It's always I'm sorry, Christians. It's always the Christians.
Seriously.
It's always the Christians.
We're getting tired of the Christians BS.
I'm just saying historically it's been the Christians. It's just true. Yeah, it's crazy. But like, so now we're drawing these parallels between like what has happened to the African American community, what happened to the Irish community, but the stark difference between like,
Yeah, the shared struggle, but also the difference in the perspective from the similar situation.
that like his willingness to still sort of cohort with Klansmen in order to gain his power is like ultimately damning, and like that his whiteness is still power, whatever. We don't need to go on like a whole thing about this, but like the sort of distinct difference between like being subjugated as a white person is so different from like that. Ultimately he is still the person with power in this story, and he's trying to paint himself as equal to these people when ultimately he is also trying to subjugate them.
Yeah,
and
while
the way that gets
he's like, I'm trying to make your life better.
Yeah.
he's trying to gentrify.
and creating a homogeny. Yeah, of course.
To a group of sharecroppers.
To a group of sharecroppers. Like it's just the layers and layers and layers. And then
I want to say at this time, they are like, okay, so obviously Stack was trying to pull his brother in and appeal to him. They're all trying to get in or get them out, and I think under the pressure, shame to say, from coming from an Asian, but the Asian lady cracks and she dooms everybody.
and this is important because like, so we get this conversation where her now turned husband makes it clear that they are going to go back and get their daughter, turn their daughter, and she's freaking out, and they pull her back inside, and they all have this discussion about like what they're going to do. They all eat garlic like to try. It's a great scene where they're all like trying to determine who's if anybody else is a vampire. And then
Oh yeah, they brought somebody who was knocked out.
there's somebody they think is dead in there, and they
think that
throw
they're
him
turning into a
outside, and then it turns
vampire.
out he's not. He was just drunk, which is incredibly funny and fucked up. And I love that scene. She is being real, where she's like, they are gonna go kill everybody unless we do something about it, and we have to let them in. And everybody's like, no. And then and I want to be clear about this. She has a point. Like everybody's sort of existing in this bubble when like the truth is they can wait till sunlight, but like that doesn't save anybody else. Like they have to attack it head on.
I would argue that timing would have been important. They could have waited and tried to I don't know, dialogue with them a little longer to get closer to sunrise, and baited them, and then said like once it was time, like they all could have come out and said like, all right, we're gonna
Sure.
let's fight. And
But
then
I
they
think
just turn into dust.
that they have sowed Remick has helped sow fear into her and into them, and like his tactics have worked and causes her to crack, and then there's this huge battle scene.
Nice for them to kill her or something before.
Right. There's this. Yeah. Thank you. There's this scene just before, because they're planning this attack and they're all like making steaks and whatever, blah blah blah. And Annie smokes
Well-cooked steak.
smokes romantic interest and
Smoked steaks.
you know the one who knows about vampires and everything is like, if they bite me, don't let me turn. You have to kill me. It's and so the what's her name? Grace yells out, the vampires get let in. She says, come on in. And there's this huge battle scene. What I was surprised at the second time through, that battle scene is about 5 minutes. It's not long. They just like have this,
I mean, 5 minutes can be long. You know what I mean? Like,
but
5 minutes can be a long time.
but it's like,
Just saying.
I'm so
We're going to have another full-time movie fans tidbits about Jarvis needing to learn foreplay.
I'm gonna ask not.
Time is relative, man. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna ask not to sit in on that one if I
that's
can
fine.
be excused.
It can be a one-on-one.
Don't give me the third chair until after you've gotten that.
Got
out of
it.
the
Got
way.
it. Well,
Um,
try guys who?
Yeah. I'm not trying that. But like there's this explosive moment of action that the whole movie has been leading to, and it is chaos. Like everybody's kind of having these moments. Everybody's getting bitten. Annie gets bit. Of course, they set it up. You know it's coming. It's still heartbreaking. Smoke has to kill her. And then there is this confrontation between Smoke and Stack. They finally collide and they're fighting. And I think Smoke has him pinned down. He's about to kill him. And well, he basically says, I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you. And Stack says, you always did. And then it cuts away and we're outside and Sammy and Remick are having a showdown. They go into the water and like Sammy takes his guitar and smashes it into. There's this whole monologue about like the religion and the subjugation and like
He's, like,
freedom and what freedom
baptizing
means.
Sammy.
Yeah.
They have a hive mind.
Yeah.
It's because vampires are hot.
And true. Yeah, there's nobody's
Scientifically
free.
confirmed.
It's true trends. She said. Everybody's cuffing their jeans. They just all start cuffing their jeans at once. What's the big idea? They all know. I don't claim that, but I've never.
And he's humble.
I got. If
What doesn't he have?
if that's true, I got left out of somebody. It's a real Home Alone situation over here. But it's cool because I get a cheese pizza just for me.
Instead of setting
every
traps,
night.
you're like watching Star Wars.
I'm like watching
and doing
Star
Legos.
Wars, and I'm like, is there something wrong? Like, what's going on? Are they ever coming home? Okay, another cheese pizza. Yeah. One of those little party pizzas.
She
But
loves them.
he's baptizing Sammy. Michael, you said that. It's like so. A ton of symbolism here happening. Sammy takes the guitar and like smashes it into Remick's face, and it turns out there's the plate. The guitar has like this metal
Real
plate,
silver plate?
a real silver plate, and it digs into his head, and it's like melting his skin away, and it's showing all of his teeth, and it's super gory and awesome. And like just as Sammy's about to get killed by Remick, a stake bursts through his chest, and Smoke has killed him, and the
Jeff's
sun is starting to
praying for it.
rise, and everybody starts burning and screaming, and it's like, I think like he's totally evoking like revival churches, Southern revival churches and stuff, like all of these people.
It
like,
reminded. Did you ever play BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, it's so
It
BioShock
reminded
Infinite.
me of that scene.
Yes.
And I was like, this is good.
Yeah, yeah.
You have no idea.
No, I've seen all the gameplay for it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't play the games. I watch other people play them.
Good
Which is
scene.
about the same.
Um,
Good.
and
game.
it's just this like really fucking awesome scene. Remick dies and disappears into a spiral of fire that shoots up into the sky.
Very cool.
It's so cool. And then there's this moment where you're like, what? Okay, what else does the movie have to take care of? And Sammy takes Smoke and Stack's car. Smoke is
You did miss something important
What did I
right
miss?
before that. You missed the part where Remick tells I think it was Remick that tells Smoke that the clan was still going to come for them.
oh yeah,
Like it was all
there's
just going to be a
this-
front. They were going to die anyway.
Yeah. That Remick knows about the them buying the place, and like it's so clear that the clan was always gonna come and kill them.
It was basically
Anyway.
if you don't come out now, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
was
you're gonna
the-
be
that was
locked
the
in there, and they're
gambit.
gonna burn the place down and kill you and
Yeah.
shoot you. So like, Smoke is left alone. He's sitting there with like the remnants of this building and the dream that him and his brother had. Sammy's driving back, and we're about to meet back up where the movie starts, of him walking into his father's church, and we're hanging out with Smoke, and then like. He's like trying to roll a cigarette. There's this shot that we did not talk about at the beginning of the movie, where you have the two Michael B. Jordans standing next to each other, and Stack is literally like rolling a cigarette for his brother. It's a thing that happens multiple times in the movie. Stack stacks the cigarettes, Smoke smokes them, and now Smoke is having to roll the cigarette himself, and he's like shaking. He's so angry, and like he's rolling a cigarette by himself, and then it just hard cuts to like cars pulling up, and all of these white dudes get out of the car, and they've all got guns and shit like that.
And they're saying things that they should not
They're
be
saying things they should not be saying that are not good, and we're never good.
What were they saying?
I think I'm gonna pass.
Why don't you tell us, Jervis?
I forgot. So then they're like yelling in the building, "Hey, come on out, blah blah blah." And then suddenly, like bullets just start ripping through them, and we get like
It's
So sad.
so
it's
satisfying.
so satisfying, and like proper action cinema movie star shot of like. First, you see him like basically sniping at them, and then he picks up the gun, and it's like Ryan Coogler filming this movie star straight down the barrel in slow motion, like Michael B. Jordan just like popping.
And
shots
Michael B.
off.
Jordan is so hot.
He's so hot. He's wearing this incredible tank top. It is like pure
So hot.
movie star shit.
He's got those suspenders on.
Oh my god,
So hot.
It is so cool, and
Shot too. Like
Yeah, perfect shot.
just like
Each
like,
time.
the
Calculated.
the 70 millimeter IMAX like film grain, like the coloration. He's just like ga. Oh my god, it's
Tasty.
so fucking awesome. I can't say enough about it. And then like you just get this awesome scene of him like blowing up and shooting.
He even gets
racists.
shot and just
He gets shot and he takes
keeps
it.
going.
And then we get this like, of course, Ryan Coogler has to give us something emotional and spiritual, where he is like the grand dragon, the dude who sold them. I think that's what he's called.
It's they're
Wizard?
I think you're right that his was like Grand
He's
Dragon.
called the Grand
It's
Dragon, I think.
They're like Grand Wizard or Arch
Fucking
Wizard or
dorks.
something.
What
Yeah.
dorks racists are? They're fucking
Let's
dorks.
be real. If you're
I
gonna
like
be an
dragon-
Arch Wizard or a
Shut the
dragon,
fuck up.
at least not be racist.
You look like a goddamn bowling ball. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Anyway.
At least take your bullets like a freaking man.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't even take his bullets like a man. If he wants that kind of a title,
You're absolutely right. He did get shot and then go, please, I have money.
Please, I have money. He's on the floor, like saying, please, I have money. And then Michael B. Jordan, like, Smoke sits on the ground and he's like dying from the blood loss and everything. And then suddenly he hears a baby crying, and he looks, and Annie is there holding their dead child, and like he's like looking at this dude who's like begging to like keep living. He shoots him.
It's like, I'm
absolutely not.
already out of this,
Dude, I'm like about to check out of life. The last thing I have to do is kill you.
Yeah.
And he kills him, and it's great. And then like Annie, in this moment where like the bridge is kind of drawing, Annie hands him the baby, and he gets to hold the baby, and it's so emotional. We kind of leave Stack Smoke before he dies. We go back to Sammy, who has come back to the church, and his dad is begging him, put down the guitar, Sammy, put down the guitar, leave the sin behind. It's okay. And Sammy has like scratches across his face. When we last saw this scene, it's so cool. It's the framing device of the movie, and like in the first version of this scene, we're getting like flashes of these like jump scare flashes of like all the things he's been through that night. Now we have the context, and he's begging him. The whole church, the whole congregation is begging him, and then again another hard cut to the car driving away, him driving away, and just like a perfect like directorial screenwriting thing where like he's driving, and then you see him like raise up his arm and like pull the neck.
Yeah, that's
of
how
the
you
guitar.
know it's not going to happen.
All that's left
Yeah.
is like he's pulling it close to him. He leaves with his music. And the very last thing we see is as he's driving away, we immediately cut to old Sammy. He's old, and he's playing in a guitar. He's playing guitar.
This is the post-credit scene, isn't it?
No. We get flashes
Oh,
of it
that's
just
right.
before.
That's right.
The very last thing we see
yeah,
before
yeah.
the credits is old Sammy
we're wrong.
playing
Why would we
guitar in a club. He's like
We're like full-time
70.
losers.
he's like he's like 70 or 80 years old, and he's just shredding. And then we go to credits.
Oh yeah.
You guys produce. It'll be Sybil and I. Well, it's like the all new, all different Avengers. It'll be the all new, all different full-time movie fans. So like, okay, so credits, and then we get this mid-credits scene of like them at the club. He's playing at the club. He's done playing for the night. He sits down at the bar. You can see the 3 scratches across his face. Everybody's left. And then you hear the door to the club open. And who walks in? But does the bouncer? I think
It is
the bouncer does walk in
first.
first.
He's like, hey, these guys want to come in. They're willing to pay a lot. He's like, sure.
And the first thing you see is Haley Steinfeld in like her best 90s get up, like this short crop jacket, lollipop in her mouth. And I have to know, like,
Calm down, Jarvis.
I don't know about you guys, but my first reaction to this was like, I love you, Haley Steinfeld. My stomach dropped. I was like, fuck. Oh, no.
Not for a mid-credit scene.
Yeah. It's like clear we're getting like a ton of like, what do you mean? And I thought it was just gonna like cut off at them walking in and being like, oh no, what happens to Sammy?
Yeah, it's crazy that her and Stack just start going at it right there in front of Sammy for the end credit scene. Talk about a sexy movie.
Oh,
That was crazy, dude. I was not expecting that.
it's just this
No more
like,
horny movie for you, Jarvis.
it's this cool moment where your
Back
stomach.
to Veggie Tales for you.
And then they look directly in the camera and they're like, "We're just a couple of sinners."
Yeah,
Roll credits.
everybody's been sinning. The thing about Michael
Yeah, it's been literally an hour on this plot.
Michael B. Jordan and we be sinning.
Thanks for watching.
Stealing his
Full-Time
power.
Movie fans.
So, it's such a cool device to like think that we're just getting a tease, and then the scene keeps going on and keeps like then
Geniusly.
yeah, like Stack walks in,
Very smart.
and then they start having like a conversation about what happened. It's clear that Stack was let go by his brother. His brother couldn't stand to kill him. Him and Mary get away. They've lived a whole life together, and they look exactly the same. And like you get this scene where they're talking about how free he feels and that he doesn't regret doing it. They have been able to live the freedom that they wanted. And
he offers that to Sammy.
He offers it to
and
Sammy.
Sammy says probably my favorite line in the whole movie, which is, "Man, I'm tired of this place."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he says I've seen enough. But I want to say, like, I love that scene is so freaking good at the end, and him saying like he where they reminisce, and he says, "Hey, can you still play some of the blues, the bluegrass, like the blues music that we?" And so he goes and he starts playing like he did. And then you see Mary and Stack just like close their eyes as they're taken back to that time. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think one of the profound things is Sammy says, he says, I think about that time often. And he says like, you know what? He says to Stack and Mary, he says, before the sun went down, that was probably the best day of my life. And then he goes, and then of course Stack says, "Me too. Mm-hmm. That was the last day I saw my brother and the sun." And what a freaking ending, dude! Like that was such like. You mentioned how many times the movie could have ended, and you know that there's been those movies where like, okay, yeah, end the movie already. You're bringing it, you're extending it for no reason, and it gets bad. This was the perfect ending. Like that moment where Sammy's talking it to Stack and Mary, and he's like, "That was before the sunset. That was the best day of my life." And he reciprocates and says, "Yeah, me too." So good.
And Michael, how do you feel?
Salt.
Yeah. Yeah, assaulted. But and then there's an end credit scene. I have not said his name, but like Sammy is played by this new find named Miles Caton, who is phenomenal.
He's very good.
Like he's such a good actor.
His voice is so unique too.
Yes.
Like I noticed that immediately.
He is such a talent. Like I hope he has a long and bountiful career. He is so good in this movie. And Ryan Coogler just knows, like, I'll give you an end credit scene. It's just Miles Caton, like, playing this version of, like, This Little Light of Mine, a blues version of This Little Light of Mine to Send You Out. And it is, it's incredible.
And young, I don't need the mic, but young Sammy, too. That was his first movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
that's him.
So
That's
old
him.
Sammy, it is worth saying, and I promise not to make this too long, but, like, old Sammy is played by a dude named Buddy Guy, who's this like blues legend. When I was growing up,
like a fake
my
name.
dad listened to a lot of like jazz and blues and stuff like that, and like he, I have explored these things more than Millie sniffing my shoe. I've explored these things a little more, but like I remember him showing me Buddy Guy and being like, "This guy's a legend. He's like the best blues guitarist in the world," and me listening to him and being like, "Oh wow." In 2018, my dad and I, look, I've been through a lot of stuff with my family, and like we went to go see this show, and it was a very special moment for us. We went to go see Buddy Guy with Johnny Lang, if you know who he is, an old talent and a younger talent, playing together at the Majestic Theater.
They love doing that.
in
I've
San
noticed.
Antonio. It's really cool.
We're having him on next time, right?
Yeah, Johnny Lang's the next special guest.
Oh,
Jarvis says.
wow. And you didn't invite me.
I mean, we only have 3 chairs.
Fourth chair. But we saw this show. It's incredible. And like that memory means so much to me. And when I am sitting in that theater and watching that movie for the first time, and Sammy pulls the neck of the guitar to his chest, and it immediately cuts to Buddy Guy. This is the beauty of casting. I immediately, my eyes just like, I start pouring
made
tears
sense.
because I know what Buddy Guy means. And people who know what Buddy Guy means will see Buddy Guy and be like, oh my God, he became the best blues blues legend. And even if that's not, I mean, Buddy Guy just carries so much context that like they put him in this movie and it is a statement immediately. And he's a dude who has presence when he's playing guitar. So even if you don't have the context of what he means, it is, that's fine. Like, I think you feel the presence anyway, but I felt like I was like thrown back into my seat. I was like, oh wow, you just like hit me perfectly. Cause it's only 2 quick shots of him. Very fast shots. It feels like you're having a fever dream before it cuts to credits. Of course, you get this like nice performance in the middle, but like it's such a cool moment. Like it's just so well thought out and so connected to like what this music means and all of that. It's fucking awesome. It's the movie rocks. The movie rocks. It took us over an hour to get through the plot, but
Yeah.
it's important.
Which is why I'm gonna retrail us back
Yeah,
on.
please.
Get this
The format.
get this back on here. Arbitrary rating system.
Oh, arbitrary rating system. I think.
Do you remember it?
No, I don't remember it.
Okay. So mine's gonna be rewatchable in theaters. That's the caveat. You will rewatch it, but see it in theaters multiple times. I will. So obviously it starts with don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Then it goes to watch it.
Watch it.
Watch it in theaters.
Watch it in
If you can.
theaters. If you can.
Rewatchable.
Rewatchable.
And then we kind of go off the rails a little bit where it's like buy it,
I was
own it.
I was fully ready to be like, I give it 87 Wang Dang Doodles out of 87. Like that's what I thought arbitrary rating system was. Like or like
That
proprietary
is the
rating
old
system.
rating system.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
mine's rewatchable, caveat in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then and not own it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Just what Michael said.
Verbatim.
I think something we haven't touched on, and it's not a long tangent at all, but like this movie is like a legit phenomenon. It's like really people are.
Oh yeah, no, people are loving it.
Normal people that I know that like just are casual. They just go see movies whenever. Are like, hey Hunter, do you know where I can catch a 70mm screening of Sin? What are you talking?
You gotta
are asking
drive
me,
for
like,
that one.
but like still, what do you mean? Like, it's crazy that means something to like people who just kind of do this
Yeah.
shit casually. Like we're all full-time movie fans here, so like of course we care about that kind of thing. But like this happened. This happened.
He's going, yeah.
This sort of happened with Oppenheimer, but like it's something.
But
Totally,
yeah, but it's not the same thing.
This is
it's
like-
a blockbuster versus like an actual piece of art.
yeah, but like I think they have just found Ryan Coogler has found a way to just like make this a phenomenon again. It's like his 3rd phenomenon in a row. Creed was huge, Black Panther a phenomenon. This is like it's a huge moment.
He turned into DJ Khaled. Another one.
Yeah.
Turned into DJ Khaled, another one.
Another
That's what
one.
you just missed from Jarvis's mouth.
I would say
From the horse's mouth to
undoubtedly
mine.
undoubtedly go see this in theater with a crowd. It's there's nothing like it. It's so electric. I've seen it twice now. I saw it with a really electric crowd, and I saw it with a matinee crowd on a Saturday. And like, they're definitely different vibes, but like in each theater, I felt like the audience reacting and having a great time.
And
It's
Hunter,
really awesome.
if they're watching this and it's no longer in theaters,
If it's not, then you buy it. It's like get the Steelbook. Like it's like
I was gonna say there's probably like one even past like own it or own the special edition
Yeah.
that's like track down the director and get an autograph.
Yeah, it's like
Your stock right,
get that
Google. Don't stock right.
4K
Google.
combo pack, load it onto your Fandango at home, and pop it in your Blu-ray and pop it in your 4K player. Buy a 4K player for this movie.
Hunter, did you already put in your letterbox?
Yeah, of course.
Would you want to read it for us to close us out? Or
Oh
no?
man,
Is that
do we want that? Whoa.
Yeah.
How long is it?
I don't think it's long. I can. Sometimes I can be pretty
Wordy?
verbose. Yeah, on Letterboxd. Let me see if I can find it for you. Okay, so when I saw it the last time, on Saturday, I said. I just said everything at once: funny, moving, sexy, scary, and a real throbbing vein. Kugler is king. And then, this is kind of lengthy, but let me give you the highlights. What I said was, Sinners is many things, and it will continue to reveal itself even more over the years, but I still cannot get over the difficult conversations it's having, particularly about the natural resting place of rage and hatred amongst the marginalized and othered communities. Kugler knows the anger comes from a true and justified place, but he also seems to be wrestling with the ensuing rot it brings. No high horse or judgment to be found, just wrestling. Yeah, I think it's
Very profound.
I think it's a movie about like being the anger that comes with being subjugated and where that lies in the body, and that like some people will pursue that rage to the point of like quote unquote righteous violence, like that they will protest and like be loud and be angry, and there were some people who will channel that into music and will like and that there's no, I think the important part of that is that he does this with Black Panther. He does it with all of his movies where he's like, both of them are paths worth taking. It's up to you. And I think that kind of nuance is not something we get very often anymore. And it's about vampires. And they bite. Be careful, they bite.
Guys, what an episode. We have Hunter. He's going to be with us forever. He'll never die, just like the vampires.
I did go a little too method, and I did get bit by a vampire before this. We don't have time to go into my experience about that. We'll talk about it like a Patreon episode.
Forever immortalized in the Sinners episode on YouTube, on the internet, which will never die, ever. But guys, this is full-time movie fans. We just reviewed Sinners. It's probably our best episode ever. Put a like and subscribe on it. And guys, we hope that your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Hey, full-time MFers. You like this video? 'Cause we sure did. If you liked it, maybe you should share it with your friends. Maybe like the video and subscribe.
If we were you, that's what we would do. If I was watching this,
I'd be all over that.
Like, and I'd hit that share, and then I would hit that subscribe in that order.
Yeah. There's also another video that's popped up. YouTube thinks you like this one, so you should watch that one now.
See you next time.